בשם השם נעשה ונצליח. מורנו ורבנו הגאון רבי Yaakov Yitzchok Ruderman, זכר צדיק לברכה, the first Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Israel. He speaks about a common question regarding to the miracle of Pach Shemen and the connection of the jar of the oil, the olive oil, and the Torah שבעל פה. So the question that is asked is based on Masechet Yuma Daf Chaf Tet Amud Aleph. It's mashma Amar Rav Asi Lama Nimshala Esther Shachar. The question is why Esther is compared to Shachar, to morning. And the Gemara answers, Lomar lecha ma Shachar sof kol halayla af Esther sof kol hanisim. That comes to teach us the incident of Purim is the last incident, last miracle mentioned in the Tanakh. So too, Shachar is the morning after all the sarot, which the sufferings are compared to Laila, darkness. And therefore, the last Nes, according to this explanation, was the Nes of Purim. V'ha'ika Chanukah nitana liktov amlan. But we see that Chanukah was later after Purim. So how come Chanukah is not mentioned in the Tanakh? So the question is, how come there is no mention of Chanukah? Direct mention, of course, there is Remazim in the Tanakh. Right? So this is what we need to understand. Now, Rosh Yeshiva, Alav Shalom, explains that there are two Sugim Shel Nisim. There are two types of miracles. One is the miracle that is mentioned in the Tanakh, like Purim. And then there is another type of miracle that is not mentioned in the Tanakh. So we need to understand what's the chelek. What is the difference between them? That some are mentioned, some are not mentioned. So in order to differentiate the difference, we need to understand what is the purpose of a miracle. Right? Particularly regarding to the miracle of Pach Shemen, the jar of olive oil. Right? We see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he does a miracle, he does the miracle in a way that it's most of the times is b'derech teva. Derech teva means in a natural way. In other words, that right, you see the oil is burning, right? It's not water, it's oil. Oil has the capacity, has the naturally oil could be used as a burning agent, right? So Hashem wants to do the nisim in a way that is natural, that is the tiv'i, right? And Hashem wants to minimize nes nigle, right? Open miracles. So the shoresh emunah of a Yehudi, the emunah, the source of the emunah of a Yehudi is that we need to understand there is Almighty Hashem behind everything, and Hashem hides His face in the nature in a way that we cannot see open miracles. We see the same concept by Yetziat Mitzrayim, the Exodus, and the Kriyat Yam Suf, opening of the Red Sea. The miracles happen through the nature, right? And therefore, this Pach Shemen over here has some sort of lesson that Hashem did it in a way that was very open and compared to other miracles. You have this pach shemen that was enough only for one night according to one opinion and lasted 8 nights. Right? So Rosh Yeshiva Zt'l explains, in the time of Chanukah, back then, in the time of Yemach Shemam v'Zichram, the Greeks, right? Back then, Am Yisrael, they were on low levels of emunah, and particularly emunah to the Torah Sheba'al Peh. So that tekufa, that was the nisayon of Klal Israel. Their emunah to Torah Sheba'al Peh was much less than other dorot, other generations. And we see that there was all this movement of Hellenist movement and all those Siddukim, that they only had Siddukim that only had emunah to Torah Shebichtav and not Torah Sheba'al Peh. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us this nes, the miracle of shemen, in a way that this oil would come to mechazek, to give us an uplift, right, and to help us with the Torah Sheba'al Peh that we're supposed to give importance as same as Torah Shebichtav. Now the question, next question is, what is the connection between this jar, of pach shemen, right, with Torah Sheba'al Peh? There must be a connection. And how this pach shemen strengthened the Torah Sheba'al Peh. So the answer is, says the Rosh Yeshiva, is brought in Masechet Shabbat Daf Chaf Aleph Amud Bet, Shekenichnesnu Yevanim lehechal, as the Greeks, Yemach Shemam, they went to the Hechal in Beit HaMikdash. Tim'u kol hashemanim shebechal, so they went and they made impure all the oils in the hechal. Right? Now, the question that Pnei Yehoshua asks, one of the commentaries, Lichora yesh litmoa kol Torah chanes ze lama. So, that there is a rule that when everything is tameh, there is certain leniencies that you could abide by and you could apply, and in that time all the oils were tameh. So the Yehudim, the Hashmonaim, did not have to go and find real pure oil. They didn't have to do that, right? Because of the concept of tum'ah hutra b'sibur, as we see in Masechet Yuma, Daf Nun Amud Aleph. So they were able to use oil that was impure. So Peri Chadash answers, and has the answer to Pnei Yehoshua, right? And this answer is based on how these Yevanim were able to impure all the oils. The question is, how could the Goyim, to begin with, have tum'ah? V'halo lo masinu shum tum'ah lenochri mechaim. The Gentiles, right, they don't have the tum'ah that we're really referring to, that impurity. Because in order to have tum'ah, you need to have kedusha. So if there is no kedusha, in the absence of tum'ah, there can't be, if there is no kedusha, in the absence of kedusha, purity, there is no purity to begin with, that there should be impurity. Right? So the answer is that really there was no impurity. And Chazal, they made a gezerah on the goyim that they should have the status of zav. Right? Zav, as a certain impure level, right, of a certain discharge that back then was much more relevant, and they could detect it. These days is harder to detect. So the Chachamim got together and they made a decree that, look, all the goyim, they have tum'ah zav, and if so, right, that explains this was all by the Chachamim. Really, there was no real tum'ah, but because of the decree of Chachamim, all that they came to touch became tameh. Shahare rag tum'at met hutra besibur. Another answer is, according to Perich Hadash, the answer is Pnei Yehoshua, that the only time you could apply the concept of if everyone is tameh, then you're exempt from finding a pure oil, that only applies with tum'at met, not the tum'at ziva. Tum'at ziva doesn't make a difference. Lefize yose shemen haTorah shemen haya tahor legamre. Really, this shemen was shemen pure, and all the tum'ah that came about was the gezerah of the Chachamim against the goyim. Now, therefore, this whole Pach Shemen was a nes that came to prove the koach of Torah Sheba'al Peh, the Chachamim, that which the Rabbanan, the Chachamim decree, is powerful. So in this case we see, by the case of Pach Shemen, the koach of Chachamim, that they can put together certain decrees, right, for the benefit of Yehudim, based on Torah Sheba'al Peh. Ubaze mevuarim divrei Gemara. So this explains the words of Gemara in Masechet Yoma. Shemevuar mimena sheyesh shnei sugim shel nes, that there are two types of miracles. One is the miracle that is written in Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, Ketubim, and one is not written. That which is written, it comes to give us chizuk. It comes to give us chizuk, right, not only for that time of the miracle that happened, but for Olam Va'ed. So that's why it's written. But those nisim that are not written, they come to give chizuk, encouragement, right, for Torah Sheba'al Peh, or for that particular time. So that which is written is Torah Shebichtav, that's the chizuk on Torah Shebichtav. That which is not written is the chizuk on Torah Sheba'al Peh, the Oral Torah. Vehine ma'acha shemi Chanukah hem yamim shel התחזקות באמונה בתורה שבעל פה. And since from here we drive that Hanukkah is the time for encouragement in Torah שבעל פה, Oral Torah, ממילא יש לנו להתחזק ביותר בלימוד התורה שבעל פה בימים אלו. So concludes ראש ישיבה, מורנו ורבנו הגאון רבי יעקב יצחק רודרמן עליו השלום, that in the days of Hanukkah we need to study more Torah שבעל פה, גמרא, משניות, right? All which is in the category of Torah שבעל פה. So בעזרת השם, may Hashem give us חיזוק, and that we should learn, ללמוד, ללמד, לשמוע ולעשות, ונאמר אמן.